Hello and welcome to Oweleketv News. I am Hadiza Galadima. Thanks for joining us. And now, the headline news. Unknown gunmen kill APC chairman. Seun Okinbaloye finally breaks silence over NBC 5 million naira fine on Channels Television. Former Airforce spokesman Maigida Slumps dies in Abuja. APC failure in Taraba State Governorship election, a consequence of tyranny and impunity. Court sends 3 Osun chiefs to remand over 2.2 million naira obaship fraud allegation. FCT uncovers illegal housing estate in Abuja. Welcome back from the break and thanks for being with us. Now the news in full. Unknown gunmen have killed the APC chairman, Honorable James Ada, in the Ogani Enugu community, the Kina local government area of Kogi state. Other villagers were also killed. The report available indicates that the hoodlums penetrated the village in the middle of the night on Sunday and began shooting sporadically, razed down several houses, and subsequently killed the ward chairman of the All Progressive Congress and other villagers. Meanwhile, the state governor, Alhaji Yahaya Bello, has called for calm over the attack and has promised to obtain those behind the hideous act to book. Security operatives have been deployed to the community to restore normalcy. Channels Television presenter Seun Okinbaloye has reacted to the 5 million naira penalty received recently slammed on the television station by the National Broadcasting Commission. In a veiled reaction to the fine of 5 million naira on Sunday night, while closing his political program, Okinbaloye stated that the media will not be silenced as Nigeria belongs to everyone. The NBC has filed the Channels Television following a petition by the campaign spokesperson for the president-elect after Okinbaloye's interview with the vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Dati Baba Ahmed, on March 22, when the vice presidential candidate on TV kicked against the swearing-in of Tinubu as president come May 29th. While appearing on the show, Baba Ahmed called on the Chief Justice of Nigeria not to swear in Tinubu, insisting that declaring Tinubu as the winner was against the Constitution. The immediate past spokesperson of the Nigerian Air Force, Air Commodore Wamkere Maigida, is dead. Maigida was reported to have slumped and died in the nation's capital, Abuja. A family source who confirmed the development to DT said the senior military officer was healthy and hearty before the sad incident. The spokesperson of the NAF, Air Commodore Ayodele Famuyiwa, who also rectified the development, depicted the death as shocking. He accepted the duty of the image maker of the force in January. In his oration, when he took over in January, he pledged to consolidate on the achievements of his predecessor, adding that it was a rare opportunity for him to serve as the image maker of the service. Maigida has said, with the aim of galvanizing support and goodwill for the Nigerian Air Force in aiming to project air power to conquer the myriad of security challenges presently bedeviling the country. He urges them to remain steadfast as they carry out their work in informing and enlightening the public and bringing them abreast of happenings within the defense and the security sector. He also suggested that they use their reportage and media outfits to shape public perception and views about the Nigerian Air Force towards enduring national security and the defense of the country. This, he believed, will boost the combat effectiveness and efficiency of the Nigerian Air Force towards enhancing operational air power capabilities to confront the enemies of Nigeria. Maigida, who was the commander of 551 Nigeria Air Force Station in Jos, took over from Air Commodore Edwin Gabquet. He had served as the acting director, Defense Information at the Defense Headquarters before his posting to Jos in 2022. Indeed, he was said to have made use of the media space to thrive and bring the narrative of the Nigerian Air Force in enhancing national security architecture in the country. The NAF spokesman had urged media professionals as companions to bear in mind that the current security challenges facing the country called for concerted efforts to stem the tide. Welcome back from the break and thanks for staying with us. And now over to Taraba State, where it is a known fact that a healthy party politics relies importantly on a free flow of information amongst party leaders, party members, and candidates for public offices. The right to speak and to be heard in the merit of the complaints whenever one arises within any process leading to every election is a major determinant of how well a party will perform in the general election. Conflict itself is not a liability to any party performance in any election, but how best, capable, and willing the leadership of the party is managing the said conflict is what determines how best party members will showcase their strength in the field for the overall victory of the party in any poll. Looking at the occurrences leading to the primaries in the Taraba State chapter of the All Progressive Congress APC, particularly the governorship primaries that were never legitimately held in the first and second instances, but had a legally contestable candidate in both models. Both members of the party and those outside of it will not believe less than the APC Taraba State chapter was programmed to fail at the polls as orchestrated by the national leadership of the party under the leadership of Senator Abdullahi Adamu, whose interest has showcased in his connivance with Senator Emmanuel Bacha, ruined the golden chance and the opportunity to facilitate a common unity among APC members in order to form a long-awaited competent and peoples-oriented government in Taraba State as envisaged by the people of the state, who are downtrodden and have been beaten to abject poverty in the midst of plenty resources in their lands due to incompetency, bad governance, and incapability of PDP-led government in the state as believed by some of the indigents. Before February 2022, when Senator Bacha joined the APC through what some people believe to be the back door, Taraba APC had a handful of competent, visionary, and purposeful leaders aspiring to lead the state to a promised land, and of course, their capacity is not in any way in doubt, looking at their antecedents. Now over to Osun State, where three traditional chiefs by an Osun State magistrate court sitting in Osogbo for allegedly defrauding a prince on the pretense to install him as a king. The chiefs Adepoju Aderemi, Murtala Adeleke, Najim Ayokun, and one other Egbegbi Kolawole were indicted on 4 counts of perjury, fraud, and breach of peace by the police. The police prosecutor Said Anifowoshe, in a charge pressed against the 4 defendants, read Chief Adepoju Aderemi, Chief Murtala Adeleke, Chief Najim Ayokun, Egbegbi Kolawole, and others are now at large between the 13th to 17th November 2022 at Ekosin in the Osogbo Magisterial District did connect together to commit a felony, thereby committed an offense contrary to and punishable under the Section 419 of the Criminal Code Cap 34, Volume 2, Laws of Osun State of Nigeria 2022. He added that they conducted themselves in a manner likely to cause the breach of peace, which is contrary and punishable under Section 249 and 156 of the Criminal Code, Cap 34, Volume 2, Laws of Osun State of Nigeria 2022. However, the defendant pleaded not guilty to the alleged offences as their counsel, Barrister Yemi Abiona, applied for their bail in the most liberal term. The presiding magistrate, Dr. Olusegun Ayilara, ordered that they should be remanded in correctional center and said the matter should be transferred to the Okuku magistrate for fresh arraignment. The Federal Capital Territory Administration (FCTA) has exposed several unapproved plots set aside by illegal developers for proposed housing estates. Director of the FCT Department of Development Control, Mukhtar Galadima, revealed that the land speculators were moving into the undeveloped areas of the Idu industrial layout and rationing plots to themselves without the right approval from the government. Galadima said most of the proposed estate land focused around the Hikime village at Idu were at excavation and fence levels, with gatehouse pitched to some of them. The director, who spoke to journalists shortly after the removal of the perimeter fences, lamented that the land grabbers have become so brazen to advertise on social media and conventional platforms. He, however, attested that the FCT administration will go all out to check the movement of illegal developers and land grabbers who are making money off unsuspecting Nigerians. He said the oldest marking had been since 2019, and since then, the plot has not been developed. According to Tribune Online, the whole place has been fenced by these grabbers, so they have to nip in the bud. Galadima added that the estates involved in this illegality are numerous. They just parcel them and fence them. But this is just the beginning. Galadima, who reported that most of the estates were at the stage of fencing and excavating, added that the advertisement had been widely spread. He asserted that creating awareness is very important. People are advised not to buy lands on social media, but to go through the right medium to get their land purchases right, because the administration is committed to seeing that these illegalities are eradicated. He called on custodian of the FCT master plan to hasten and conclude the process of redesigning Phase 5 of the Federal Capital City so illegal developers and land grabbers don't go about allocating land to themselves. The All Progressive Congress (APC) has suspended the Deputy Senate President, Ifeoma Agege. The lawmaker was suspended by his Ward Executive Committee in Ughelli North Local Government Area of Delta State. According to a communique issued by the Delta State Executive Committee of the All Progressive Congress, acquired by Newsmen, the party accused Omo Agege of greedily and illegally seizing the party from the ward to the state and personally handpicked the National Publicity Secretary without due consultation. The Delta State APC, which has been thrown into crisis, had a few days ago suspended the chairperson of the Niger Delta Development Commission (NDDC), Loretta Onochi, for alleged anti-party activities. The National Health Insurance Authority, landmark partnership with healthcare company Roche, has given 55 cancer patients access to creative cancer medicine at a subsidized cost. Fundamentally, the partnership guarantees affordability of cancer medicines to beneficiaries through a cost-sharing system. Within that arrangement, Roche pays 50%, the National Health Insurance Authority pays 30%, and the patient pays 20%. Speaking at the presentation of the progress report of the partnership, the Director General of National Health Insurance Authority, Professor Mohammed Sambo, said this partnership is simply helping Nigerians affected by cancer to proactively avoid financial hardship and support them to focus on the most important thing of all, their health. He added that he is very pleased with the impact this is having on the affected persons and wants to roll this out even more further by expanding to more centers nationwide. He also reminded everyone that healthcare insurance under the National Insurance Health Authority is available to all Nigerians. There are offices across the country for purpose of enrollment so that they can access innovative treatment as being implemented under the partnership. Also speaking at the occasion, Mr. Daladi Hamid, General Manager, Road Nigeria, said the obstacles that are preventing access are persistent and complex, but they are solvable. Committing to continue this partnership, and contributing to both solutions that support sustainable healthcare ecosystem and a future where every Nigerian can access world-class healthcare. The partnership is inspired by three themes: the need for patients to access medicines for diagnostic solutions, the need for capacity building, and policy advocacy. The 55 patients who have received innovative cancer care through the partnership are enrollees of the National Health Insurance Authority and patients in the 7 pilot centers: the University of Benin Teaching Hospital, Ahmadu Bello University Teaching Hospital, Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital, the University of Nigeria Teaching Hospital, University College Hospital, and the Federal Teaching Hospital, Gombe. And now over to the Nigerian Senate, where Chief Whip of the Nigerian Senate, Orji Uzor Kalu, has announced the death of his wife, Ifeoma Kalu, at the age of 61. He made the announcement in a report released on his Facebook page on Monday. The former Abia State Governor said a memorial service in her honor is scheduled to hold in the United States of America. In a private signed statement, he also asked for prayers for her and her loved ones as they go through these challenging times. He wrote, "With a heavy heart and pain, we announce the passing on to the eternal glory of Mrs. Ifeoma Kalu, aged 61 years. She was a woman of virtue who was committed to the service of God and humanity. A memorial service in her honor is scheduled to hold in the United States of America. Please remember her and her loved ones in your prayers during this difficult period." 1 killed, other injured in Osun truck accident. A person was confirmed dead in the ghastly motor accident at the Ojo Market Square in Ikiro on Monday. An eyewitness, Lamidi Adebisi, who is the Akumbona of Ikiro, publicized that a heavy-duty Mark tipper loaded with granite trying to navigate the Idueso roundabout lost control at the Market Square. According to him, not fewer than 15 motorcycles and 5 cars were crushed as the driver of the truck tried avoiding killing people. Isiaka Oladipo, the Baale of Ibijuwon area, also added that the truck damaged part of the town hall before it finally came to a halt at the Akiro Palace Gate. Personnel of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC) and the police, alongside a score of sympathizers, were at the scene of the accident to attend to the victims. The corpse of the commercial motorcyclist who died on the scene of the accident was therefore taken to the hospital. That's all the news on Oweleketv News. Do follow our social media handles displayed on your screen for inquiries and advert placement. I am Hadiza Galadima. Till I come your way next time, do stay safe